Hello, I'm Searcy. Welcome to this week's Bred to Win with some great racing stories coming out of the weekend and much more. We visit Dual Group 1 winning 3-year-old Observer at Darley Northwood Park and hear more about his returning sire Ghaiyyath, a son of the mighty Dubawi, and Capitalist Group 1 winning son Reserve Bank at the Bott family's Evergreen Stud near Newcastle in New South Wales, and another much loved stud dog, this time at Blue Gum Farm in Cambridge Studs, Stud Dogs of Australasia. But first, the big guns were back in action in Group 1 racing in our Bred to Win news.
Gates are back, they're off. She wasn't great out, she's Alibi. In fact, she's last out. And Aliana settles towards the rear. Autumn Glow's third early.
Winx Stakes Day 2026 was hugely anticipated, with star mare Autumn Glow resuming and the challenge set down from Doncaster winning filly She's a Alibi amongst a field of another 8 individual Group 1 winners.
Further back to She's a Alibi. Here comes Autumn Glow. She throws down the gauntlet to Midnight Dynamite.
And the daughter of the autumn sun didn't disappoint, sprinting away from the field as now 4-year-old She's a Alibi gave chase into second spot. Autumn Glow's record now stands at 12 wins from 13 starts with earnings of over $9.1 million. The mare is a 3/4 sister to Golden Rose winner in the Congo from champion South African mare Via Africa. Recapping her background at the start of a new preparation, she was of course bred by the Kellys at New Haven Park and sold to Silverdale Farm as a Magic Millions weanling for $600,000. Taken to the next year's Inglis Easter sale, she was featured as an outstanding looking yearling in our Bred to Win Easter preview before fetching $1.8 million to the final bid of Arrowfield Stud and Hermitage. Her sire, the Autumn Sun, a champion colt himself and winner of 5 Group 1s in his career, stands this season at a fee of $137,500 as the son of Redout's Choice and the Galileo mare Asmina.
Racing to a clear second, but Pembrey, oh, what a star performance by her.
Another granddaughter of Redout's Choice won the other main feature on the day, the first leg of the fillies' Princess Series, the Silver Shadow Stakes. Pembrey, a Kiora stud bred and raced daughter of their former sire son of Redout's Choice, Prague, was dominant over her contemporaries over 1,200 metres. Her dam, Sir Sauveur, by Black Caviar's sire Bel Esprit, was a winner of the Edward Manifold Stakes in 2013. Prague moved this season from Kiora stud to Queensland's Oakland stud. He traces back to the mighty miler Emancipation as his 4th dam and stands at a fee of $8,800. There were 3 Group 3s on the Randwick program wearing the distinctive Frank and Chris Cook Mystery Downs colours. Perrin Canto's Prima Bella was too strong in the toy show quality. From the Darcy Brahma mare Brass Spring, her 3rd dam is the wonderful Williams family producer Sound Lover, who's also 3rd dam of group winners Evaporate and Bellucci Babe, both also by Perrin Canto. Prima Bella was sold by Sledmere Stud at the Inglis Classic sale for $320,000, bought by her Warwick Farm trainer Matt Smith. Featured recently on Bred to Win, Perrin Canto stands this season at New Zealand's Little Avondale Stud at a fee of $75,000 NZ plus GST. The show county quality was won by Midnight in Tokyo for Brisbane trainer Todd Pollard, a half to Challenge Stakes winner Generosity, the grandson of Sangster Stakes winner and Stakes winner producer Belle Mur. Midnight in Tokyo's sire Kobayashi, a son of I Am Invincible, stands for the new season at Aquis in Queensland at a fee of $9,900.
Beast mode grabbed by Cavalry Girl at the 50. Cavalry Girl drives away for Willow.
At Sandown in Melbourne, the feature Canine Stakes at Group 3 level went the way of Bivouac filly Cavalry Girl. Winner of the Lightning Stakes in Adelaide at the end of last season, Cavalry Girl is from an I Am Invincible mare from a half-sister to Military Rose, descending from great producer Summoned. She was an Inglis Classic yearling sold for $110,000 by Vinery Stud to Joe O'Neill's Prime Thoroughbreds. Her sire Bivouac, a 3-time Group 1 winner by Exceed and Excel from the Camarilla Camarina dam line, has already produced Group 1 winners Baywalked and Fireball Miss and stands at Darley Kelvinside at a fee of $33,000. It was another Darley sire who produced the winner of Adelaide's Saturday feature, the Leon McDonald Stakes, with Too Darn Hot's Bootlegger successful over the 1400 metres. Already winner of the Morfettville Guineas, Bootlegger's sire Too Darn Hot is a son of Dubawi and champion European mare Darley Me, and stands at Darley Kelvinside in New South Wales at a fee of $275,000. And a stallion will feature in coming weeks. A rare sire standing in South Australia, Barbados, saw his highly talented daughter Pretty Baby outpoint the opposition, returning as a 3-year-old filly after taking out the Oakland's plate as a late season 2-year-old. Barbados, seen here as a racehorse by Redout's Choice from Virage to Fortune, stands at the Toole family's Duckatoon Park this spring.
Further back, Fluoro Neuro, but King of Light with 150 to go. Storms up, grabs the lead.
There's another rising star in Western Australia, with King of Light taking his record to 6 wins from 7 starts and now being included in the Group 1 Golden Eagle picture. Already a WA Guineas winner and successful in 2 other stakes races, he's from a Dalgar mare who was bred by Nevin Boddicker, with Nevin remaining in the ownership of this promising 4-year-old. He was sold through the Magic Millions Perth sale for $120,000 by Amelia Park to trainer Dan Morton, and is strikingly similar to his dual Group 1 winning sire Earthlight, who stood for 3 seasons at Darley's Northwood Park in Victoria. In New Zealand, the Group 2 Waikato stud Foxbridge Plate was won by a daughter of Yulong's Alabama Express, Alabama Lass. Already a 4-time stakes winner, the mare is another group winning representative of the Orr Stakes winning son of Redout's Choice. Alabama Express stands the new season at Yulong's new Hunter Valley base at a fee of $66,000. Darley Australia continue to improve on their incredible Group 1 successes around the world, bringing champions of the track from the Northern Hemisphere to their bases in New South Wales and Victoria, and matching them with elite colonial broodmares. And Observer, a Guineas and Derby winner, is a perfect example of that, by Dubawi's 4-time Group 1 winner Ghaiyyath, out of a full sister to champion 2-year-old Piero. He's a great option for broodmare owners this spring. Lisa, it's great to see another young stallion retiring here at Northwood Park in Victoria. Observer, of course, he's continuing the great Dubawi line in Australia through his own young sire Ghaiyyath, who we'll talk about a little bit later on. But he's such an epitome of what Darley's done for so long with such success, you know, by a global stallion mixed with a wonderful Australian pedigree.
Yeah, Caroline, it's fantastic to be able to. We're very fortunate to have Observer here this season. We couldn't be more stoked. The first son of Ghaiyyath, the best son of Ghaiyyath to go to stud, and to have him obviously stand here with his father is just, it's a great coup for us, and we couldn't be more excited.
When you look, he's from a Lonhro mare, of course, an Australian Horse of the Year, champion stallion, and out of a full sister to your own homebred Piero, who was a Triple Crown winning 2-year-old, and a 5-time Group 1 winner on the ride at the Canterbury Stakes as well. He's also been a great sire, Piero too, and you go through Lonhro. What an incredible family, and again, as I said, a real Darley product. Yeah,
look, being by Ghaiyyath, who's obviously by Dubawi, that shuttle stallion that has worked so well in Australia for us particularly, those champion stallions that we have the luck to bring over here, they just work so well with our mares. We've been very lucky, we've had Too Darn Hot, we've had Ghaiyyath, and now we've got Observer, obviously Bred. Here in Australia, the best son of Ghaiyyath, he's out like you said, a Lonhro mare, the full to Piero. We've got a lot of that family, and we've been very successful with that family. So, yeah, it's brilliant.
Observer 3, 4, 5, 6 in front. He's making an absolute mess of them.
Was a winning 2-year-old in Melbourne with James Cummings. He then, of course, went to Kieran Maher. But a winning 2-year-old in town, again, that's what you're looking for, then going on to classic success.
Yeah, absolutely. We're probably not looking at, horses that are going to win a lot of 2-year-old races by Ghaiyyath, but we did send those sorts of mares that, your sprinting line mares can also go to a horse like that. And obviously the full sister to Piero isn't going to be a sprinter, but, You know, and saying that, Piero did win the Gold Slipper. So it was good to see. You know, he was a late 2-year-old, which was not surprising. To win that race at Sandown by 5 lengths, I think that's when we first knew we had something very special.
As Observer up on the inside as they reached the 250, it got really tight.
Well, he showed his mile ability, of course, when he was third to Autumn Boy in the Caulfield Guineas. That horse went on to win the Rosehill Guineas too. He beat the Queensland Derby winning Son of Wootton Bassett in Providence in the Moonee Valley Vars. And then, of course, he won the Victoria Derby. That was quite some spring.
But it's Observer, 50 metres to go. He's going to pull it up near the line, ease it right down and win by 3/4 for an arrogant win.
He had a huge spring. Third in the Caulfield Guineas, very unlucky. He was stuck for a run. He was right there. And then in the Group 2 Moonee Valley Vars, you know, to go on at the 2000 and win there very dominantly. He wins like his dad, you know, in very dominant fashion. He had that will to win. He could lead from the start or he could, you know, lead from mid-race. But once he started to lead, they couldn't catch him.
Observer, 100 to go, grits his teeth, led 3/4 Arcora. Observer's holding them, he's the stronger, he's the winner. Observer won the Derby.
He came back, of course, in the autumn and he won the Autumn Stakes, again a top race for the really, really good 3-year-olds. And then the Australian Guineas, not a lot of colts win it. We see geldings, fillies. The colts on a roll is really special. You know, horses, stallion successes such as Zabeel, Pins, Seamus Award, who went on to win a Cox Plate. And that was his 4th win in a row. He had that spell in between, Group 1 success on either side. We're talking an elite racehorse, aren't we?
But Observer's in front, and Observer won the Guineas.
Absolutely, Caroline. He was so elite. 4 group races in a row, as you said, 2 of those Group 1s. And versatile from the 1400 metres to the 2500, which was probably a big stretch for him, but he just did it on class.
And when you look at him here, you know, he's not like an archetypal stayer. He is a miler.
I think he is a miler. I think he was a miler, probably 2000 metres really. But the Guineas was his exceptional race. You know, he ran it in a faster time than Zabeel and carried 1.5 kilos more than Zabeel. So, you know, to be on the same level as Zabeel in that sort of a race is just phenomenal.
Tell me what mare owners should be thinking when they're looking at this stallion. What sorts of mares? Because he's pretty versatile in what he's going to throw, surely.
Absolutely. I think, you know, a lot of people would think that he'd be a more of, you know, that staying type, but he's actually, like I said, he's 1400 metre horse and beyond. So. And he is a CT, so he could throw anything. He could be very versatile, and that's just what we love in Australia, you know. And that Dubawi sire line again is very versatile. So you could certainly send a miler type mare to him, but you know, by all means, we'd love to see a few sprinters go to him as well.
But Ghaiyyath has not seen another rival, and he's going to see them all off here in the jump off. He's relentless.
And then looking at Ghaiyyath, by the great Dubawi, of course. You know, this is one of the world's greatest sires of all time, Dubawi. We've seen the likes of Knight of Thunder, of course, your own sire, son of Dubawi. He's a recent sire of the Queen Anne Stakes winner, 10 Bob Tony, the current superstar ombudsman, Economics, Strange, Bo Echo, this year's English 2000 Guineas winner. I mean, what Dubawi has done to throw Ghaiyyath, who's now throwing Observer, is quite incredible.
Yeah, he's an incredible stallion, Dubawi, obviously a globally influential stallion that we're very lucky we've got a direct line to in the United Kingdom. So, you know, to be able to stand the likes of Ghaiyyath, who's the world champion, best son of Dubawi ever, and then a champion like Too Darn Hot, champion 2-year-old, champion 3-year-old, and to tap into those families and to have them come over here and be successful, you know, is such a great thing for us, and you know, it just builds all those bloodlines, and you know, how much better do you get than Dubawi?
But what's really exciting is from only 4 crops here in Australia, he's already left his mark, not just Observer, but Storm Leopard won this year's Tulloch Stakes and was 3rd in the ATC Derby, Different Gravy, a stakes winner, 4th in this year's Queensland Derby, Freedom Flame won the Hill Smith, 2nd in the Auraria Stakes, Yum, another stakes winner. That's a great start with only a handful of crops racing.
Absolutely. He's a stallion that we knew would get better 3-year-olds, and he's certainly proven that to us. You know, to get 5 stakes winners in his first 3-year-old crop in Australia is phenomenal. And like you said, it's 11% stakes winners to runners in the Southern Hemisphere. So that's huge. And this year, you know, those 5 stakes winners, he's sitting right up there with I'm Invincible and Snitzel with his 3-year-olds. So, you know, they're standing at a huge fee compared to what Ghaiyyath stood for in his first season. We were very keen to have him back last year, but it was decided he needed a rest, which is, you know, that they're not robots, they're stallions. So to have done what he's done and now to come back as an elite prospect going forward, you know, is a huge win for us down here at Northwood. You know, we couldn't be happier.
That, you know, if you maybe can't afford to go to Ghaiyyath, go to Observer, because you know the sire line is going to continue to produce.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, you know, he's the best son of the best son. You know, so, you know, but the best by the best by the best. I mean, it doesn't get much better. And he's out of a Lonhro mare. He's Danehill free. He's a beautiful type. He could get all sorts of race horses, you know. Wouldn't surprise if he ended up getting 2-year-olds. He's a great value option, you know, yeah, absolutely. His Ghaiyyath's obviously gone up a huge amount, and, you know, he's fully booked. So Observer's, you know, a colonial bred son of one of the best stallions in the world. He's got a lovely temperament. When he spelled here after his Derby win, you know, he was just a gentleman. And when he arrived back down here a few months ago, we were sort of wondering if, you know, a lot of horses come back quite light out of work, but he got here and we went, well, that's a no-brainer. He just walked around like he lived here for the last 5 years. So Ghaiyyath's the same. He's very much he's an even-tempered horse. So I think that, you know, that'll shine through during the season.
A beautiful thoroughbred Observer, and I can't wait to see his foals hit the racetrack in coming years. Coming up after the break on Bred to Win, we head to Tony Bott's Evergreen Stud to see capitalist Group 1 winning sprinter Reserve Bank. Tony Bott has long been one of Australia's successful breeders, and together with his son Aaron this season at Evergreen Stud near Newcastle in New South Wales, they're standing a stallion. That stallion has a win over Everest winner Ghaiyyath in the Group 1 Goodwood in Adelaide. His name, Reserve Bank. It's great to see a stallion here at Evergreen, and Reserve Bank, a Group 1 winner of the Goodwood Handicap in Adelaide. But he's such a beautiful stallion, isn't he? What made you decide to have a stallion here?
Sort of evolved. It wasn't really ever in my plans, to be honest. One, Aaron was a bit of a motivator. Secondly, we had a couple of clients that were keen to make an investment. They had a number of mares and thought that rather than pay outside fees, which are getting very high as we all know, they thought that they might as well put it into trying to make their own stallion. So it sort of germinated from that. We didn't think we'd get this particular horse, to be honest. We thought he'd be out of our price range, but our cards fell our way and we ended up with him, so we're very happy.
He's a beautiful animal, isn't he? I mean, he's a capitalist, but he has that little bit of extra scope and a beautiful action for a sprinter.
He's a lovely type. I think he made over 400,000 as a yearling. As you say, he's probably more in the Britain tycoon mould than capitalist. He's got a great pedigree out of a fastnet rock mare. A lot of speed in the early dams. It's a pedigree line that has worked in this part of the country, being Written Tycoon and Fastnet Rock. Another ticket in the lottery, I suppose.
It's very exciting. We're so thrilled to have him here at Evergreen Stud Farm. And yeah, right from day dot, I think he's been a good looking horse. I mean, I didn't see him as a foal or a yearling, but he did make 410,000 at the sales for Searcy Stud at Inglis. So I think that tells you a lot about his physique. And yeah, I think he's just grown and matured each year after that. Looking at him now, he's letting down into a lovely stallion. I just love his athleticism, just the way he moves and carries himself, and then he backs it up because he did it on the track.
Well, he was obviously bought by a very good judge, very good trainer in Mick Price. He showed speed from the outset. He won his first 2 starts at Bendigo and Ballarat, so he was right out there early, up and going.
Yeah, that's right. I think he is a lot more like Written Tycoon in his physique. Like you say, he's a little bit bigger. He's 16 one hands, and he just strides a bit more. He's got a big stride and powerful walk on him. And yeah, he won his first start by 5.5 lengths as a 2-year-old, which is huge, first up for any horse, but to beat older horses, I think makes it even better. And then to back it up second start as well is no mean feat.
And then, of course, he went straight to Group 2 company, which Mick Price will do, of course, when he has a real belief in a young horse. He was second in the Danehill Stakes to First Settler, who's now standing at Yulong.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Mick Price is a very good judge, and history shows that. And even other stallions that come out of that camp have done extremely well. Flying Artie, extreme choice. Let's hope this one's the next one. But yes, running second in the Danehill, which arguably he possibly should have won that race. I think they were quite unlucky. But it was a good run by First Settler. And yeah, he's gone to stud and covered 140 mares in his first season.
Reserve Bank Gallant Son getting to Fluent.
Well, that Adelaide campaign, the autumn of 2025, was just exceptional. And again, Mick knows the horses who will do well in stakes company, full stop. But he won the Riddell Stakes. He sort of had to fight a bit to win that one.
Yeah, he's a tough horse, and that's another thing that we like about him, and his turn of foot. But yeah, his run in Adelaide was phenomenal. To win 3 stakes races or group races in a row is huge for any horse anywhere.
Well, that next race was the Tobin Bronze, a Group 2. He just looked so determined as he went past the leaders, and he kind of streaked away.
That's right. He had that will to win, I think. And I think Mick Price has always backed this horse and known he was a good horse from get-go. And yeah, was happy to put him in those type of races, and he was well rewarded.
Reserve Bank goes to Searcy. Ghaiyyath flying home, but Reserve Bank.
And the Goodwood itself, well, he was a fair way back, early. Charmstone, Stretton Angel, there are other Group 1 performers there that he beat. And of course, the Everest winner in Ghaiyyath. So that's a real claim to fame to win that edition of the Goodwood. And he out and out beat Ghaiyyath.
That's right. It was a tough race. Any Group 1's hard to win. And, beating 3 Group 1 horses in that race was huge, and the style and the manner that he did it was even bigger. And in beating an Everest winner, certainly franks the form and shows what type of horse he is. I'm Invincible ran second in that race, so it goes to show how tough it is to win that race and how well he's done. I know these are different horses and different bred horses, but it's not going to be the race that stops him.
And he's sire capitalist. Of course, people forget the racetrack performance of these sires of sires, but he was the ultimate 2-year-old.
Well, exactly. Yeah, Golden Slipper winner, which Australians love. That form's shown. It's a proven stallion race, and he's proven. He's leading sire in the country for winners at the moment. I think he's even second in Hong Kong with winners at the moment, and it's still early days. But I was like big books coming through. But he's also got a couple of stallions at stud already in Captivant. He's already thrown a Group 2 winner up in Queensland, and Newgate's other horse, Profiteer, who's already had 6 winners, I think. So early days, but even he's not a Group 1 winner, but he's doing it. This fella's a proper Group 1 winner, and arguably Capitalist's best horse. So I think he's got every chance.
Well, obviously the Written Tycoon, the sire of Capitalist, but the Fastnet Rock Blood there too is absolutely gold as a dam sire.
That's right. I think it's a perfect blend and balance. Written Tycoon and Fastnet Rock. And it allows you to cross with so many horses, and particularly one that's going to be very interesting is the Zoo Star line. It's already worked with Written Tycoon, but it's gold with Fastnet Rock. Physically, he's a well-balanced horse, and he's going to suit a range of horses physically, because he is 16-1 hands, but he's well-balanced. But he also has that strength to put into the smaller type mare, but also with the bigger type mare, he's not going to be too big for them either. But then on the pedigree side, the whole Schnitzel Redute's Choice line has done very well with Written Tycoon, Capitalist, and even other sons. So ideally, we're targeting those type of horses, and we have been. We've got a number here on the farm, and we're still looking on the online auctions where we're buying good race fillies off the track with a bit of speed and form. But then we've also got group winners going to the horse already, Group 1 winners and dams of stakes horses too. So he will be very well supported by our client base, and he'll get numbers, and I think people who see him will just love him.
The horses on the farm here, the mares you have, Princess Coat, one that I've loved, for years and years, a former $3 million mare when she was bought, but she was a wonderful race performer. And I just love watching these generations coming through, and you still have a lot of her family winning on the track, and your colours, the red and black sort of diagonal colours, they're carried to success so often still.
Yeah, that's right. No, well, she's almost like a foundation mare, so to speak. And yeah, she's just been phenomenal, herself producing good horses, and her daughters producing good horses. Other good horses that come off the farm, apart from the Princess Coupe line, horses like Anode, Democracy Manifest, Converge, Group 1 winner, Euro Canto recently, She Shall Fly, Ring Ring of Rosie, Happy Galaxy. There's a list there that sort of goes on. and they've performed overseas as well as here in Australia. And yeah, no, we're thrilled and so proud of our product that we produce here.
We've got a good backing with a couple of clients that have got a number of mares and are prepared to back him. We think we'll get somewhere with outside mares and the ones that we control, probably in excess of 100 mares to him.
What we're going to do to set this horse up is exciting. Yeah, you mentioned the racing side and the trainers. You know, obviously my brother Adrian's a good trainer. Yeah. We'll definitely be getting horses into his camp, and he'll be given every opportunity there. The sales companies are on board. Inglis certainly love the horse. Magic Millions have seen the horse and love him. So yeah, they're going to be well received at both sales.
He really is a stunning stallion. Reserve Bank at Evergreen Stud. Coming up after the break, in Cambridge Stud's Stud Dogs of Australasia, we head to Blue Gum Farm to meet Max.
Maxie's a Maltese Shih Tzu cross. He's 11 years old, quite deaf now. He was a pound puppy, a really nice find. So we've had him since he was a 3-year-old. Did have an unfortunate accident and lost his leg as about a 6-year-old, I think. So he gets along really well with only 3 legs. He's been doing it for a while now, and he's really happy to be at the farm. Likes getting in everyone's car. Loves a warm office, so no, he's settled right in. He's very slow to get out of bed, so normally he doesn't do early mare checks with me at all, waits for the frost to get off the ground. At about lunchtime, he wanders himself out and he will come through the barn, check that everyone's doing what they should be doing, does afternoon rounds with me and treatments, and home to bed.
It is great to have these dogs around, isn't it?
Oh, it is, yeah, and it's a lovely family atmosphere, which is something that's wonderful about the farm.
That is Bred to Win for this week. Make sure you don't miss next week's show as we feature Super Seth, proven in New Zealand and now settled in here at Coolmore Stud in the Hunter Valley, and 4 fascinating stallions at Luigi Muolo's Navara Park in New Zealand. That and much more next week. I'm Caroline Searcy. I look forward to seeing you then.